Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Lads are just having a roll up before they start the semi-finals. We have John Cracknell versus Steve Morris in the televised one, and Kevin Kinsella and Colin Ross. The other semi-final. The finals, when the semis are completed, will be played on a weekend, which I believe is in April. Yeah. When they have all the finals. That's the rinks, triples, pairs, which I would believe would be screened.
I think that's the plan. Well, welcome back, everybody, and we're in for a bit of a treat. We've got John Cracknell, who had quite a tough game against Jimmy Collins in the last round, and looking across at the other rinks, Steve Morris and Darren Mallin had a hell of a battle. So, yeah, this should be entertaining. Both can draw, and again play the shot variations. So it'll be really interesting to see how this pans out. So. Hope you enjoy. My name's Simon Peruzza, and I'm with Richard Davis this afternoon. So once again, if there's any questions, anything you'd like to know, particularly the new bowlers that are watching, by all means send a message through, send a comment, and we'll pick it up and we'll try and answer any questions. But most of all, enjoy. So we're just adjusting the camera angles. We've had to move the cameras around because we've moved from rink 2 now to rink 4. And there we go. Okay, that should give you a good angle. And away we go. So. Good start from John. Looks like he's got two shots there. Steve slightly under the line. Might be second wood. Of course, when we talk about second wood, what we actually mean is second bowl. Many of you will know bowls many years ago used to be made of wood. That's where the terminology comes from. Made from lignum vitae, which is a very hard wood, and that's where the terminology comes from, wood. So you might hear me say bowl, you might hear me say wood. That's an either or.
Yes, they're all made of composite plastic.
Melamine, I think it is it?
Is it? I don't know.
Melamine? Yeah, I think it's melamine.
Yeah. Just a little pointer. Normally, if you purchase black bowls, you can normally get them in a light, medium, and a heavy. But with the coloured ones, I believe they only do heavy, and that's because of the colour addition that goes into them.
Yeah, density of the bowl. Yeah, that's good information there, Rich.
So
you know we stopped seeing a lot of black bowls, didn't we, years ago, and they seem to be coming back on the scene again.
Yeah.
I think black is the new colour.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people that have tried the coloured bowls and probably gone back to the black bowls because they're so used to them. Yeah. I think everybody likes to have a change at some times, but sometimes it doesn't work for the persons involved. But
I've noticed with the manufacturers with the black bowls, they've really sort of jazzed them up a bit as well, haven't they? They've changed the designs a little bit with
yes.
the colour configuration, the rings that are on there. So, yeah, it's...
well, Steve Morris has just bowled a absolute perler, as we say.
He needed that. But
yeah.
One shot to Steve.
Well done. That's a good start, a good head. Both of the players have bowled decent woods to start us off.
I think once again they'll both need to settle down, won't they, Rich? I think it's one of those, you've just got through the first round. You're one step away from the final.
Well, that's it, yeah.
A different emotion again.
Just sorry about that.
Just swapping the scores.
There we go.
Steve got the,
Just a quick one. We've got Darren Mallin, who's marking the match. Darren is the organiser. He's the one that does the competitions. Spends a lot of time doing it.
Does a fantastic. A lot of effort goes into.
There's a lot of there's a lot of effort. There are one or two people who I couldn't off the top of my head mention who do help, and the thanks of the club go to them, to all of them, for and to Helen, who's doing the live streaming, for doing this and putting people from the club in the picture as to
putting us on the map, isn't it? I think,
as to what's happening.
Yeah, it's good.
Just gives you another insight into Bromsgrove bowling and bowling as a whole.
Two good opening bowls there. Again, a little bit nervy start, but they'll settle in very quickly. Bearing in mind there's only two, we've got somebody practicing on rink 1, but other than that there's only 8 of them out there, so that will affect the pace of the green. The heating's gone off, and the fact that the green isn't full, the pace will be a little bit different, so they will need to adjust to this. And there we go, it's a good bowl from John. He'll be pleased with that. Not sure if he's held it still, but I think that shot would.
Yes, Steve coming up to have a look at the head, which is an important part of the game. Which is an important part of the game, just to see what he needs to do. When we play our club bowls, normally you have a skip who indicates what he would like you to do. And when you're at the other end, looking down at the head, it can look daunting sometimes as to what the skip wants you to do. It's it's very.
I don't have the sheet of paper in front of me, Rich. I'm just trying to work out whether Kevin's at home or away, so we can give a bit of an update.
Kevin's away.
He's away, so he's 2 shots down at the moment. Colin's 2 up.
I believe that. Yes. Yeah.
We'll correct that if that's not quite right, but we think Kevin's the away, so it's 2 shots to Colin at the moment. Another score going on. So yes, Kevin is definitely away because he's got the mats.
Oh no.
Oh, hang on.
No, sorry, Kevin is at home.
So Kevin's at home and he's 4-2 up.
Yeah, it's all right. They had the score on the wrong way round there. So
4-2 to Kevin, and Steve is currently 1 up against John. John's just drawing down now. A very good bowl by the look of things to me. His pace is very good. Oh, he's got a little edge as well.
Ooh.
I think Steve might have the shot there. It's very difficult to tell. It's close, isn't it? I think it's very close.
Yeah, Steve's had a bit of an in and out year up until the last 3 or 4 weeks, where he's done very well in the National 2 Woods. He's played two matches against 2 people, Ben Harris from Solihull and a colleague of Ben Harris,
Mark Bedett.
and he's done very well and beaten on both and gone on to be in the national area playoffs and I believe he has to play either Rugby or Daventry, down that way anyway, against somebody from Northampton. So he's come back into the picture.
That's his game, isn't it, Steve? He's very much a draw bowler, and I think
Yes.
2 wood suits his game
Yeah, yeah.
immensely, and same today, really. But yeah, I agree. He's been a little bit in and out, and I think that's his own admission. He'll say he's been a little bit in and out this year, but
Still a very, very good bowler.
oh, massively,
Yeah.
massively. John's just pushed that a little bit. So I'm gleaning from this, it might be one to Steve.
Just gone.
Oh, no, it is to John. Okay, so that's level the score about. It's 1 to John, so that should be 1-1. Just to recap, John's playing with aero groove bowls. They're quite a big swinging bowl, and Steve's using his Drake's Pride Professional. Bowl a slightly tighter line than the grooves here at Bromsgrove. We've got a concrete floor. That makes a bit of a difference as well. A lot of bowling greens are wooden floors, as is a concrete floor, and the weather can make quite a huge difference in terms of the pace. Certainly if it's damp outside, that can have an impact. But as I say, John's using the aero grooves, quite a wide swinger, and Steve's using Drake's Professionals, if anybody's interested. And be an interesting one on rink 3, because both Kevin and Colin both bowl with Tiger Pros. In fact, they're both bowling with the same colour bowls. There was a bit of a debate at the beginning about making sure. Oh, is it Classic 2s? I do apologise. So Colin's using Classic 2 bowls, but they're both the same colour. So from a viewing perspective, it would have been a very difficult game to comment on. So if anybody's wondering why we're not commenting on that game, you can see from Steve and John's that we can tell the difference between the 2 bowls, whereas otherwise it would have been 4 blue bowls and blue bowls holding shot. That's about as good as he would have got. So yeah, so apologies for that. So Colin's using Classic 2s and Kevin's using Tiger Pros. I use Tiger Pros myself. They're a good bowl. They bowl well on this surface. I think you use Professionals when you bowl on
No, VS.
VS's, Vector VS's Rich uses when he bowls on here. And
That's
again,
why I don't win many matches.
they move quite a lot on this green,
Yeah.
Vector VS's. They are a tighter running bowl, there's no two ways about that, but
Yeah, Steve's, I believe, holding 2. John's just come up short again with his 3rd wood. Steve looks to be there with this one.
yeah, good bowl from Steve. Oh, he's got a nice little edge as well.
Yeah,
That's kind of worked
that's
out
good.
quite well.
That's good.
Coming well, John. You're going to get another edge as well. Ooh. I
Ooh,
think if you'd got that edge, that was coming across to the jack, wasn't it?
well, could be holding 3 here, Steve. Definitely 2, possibly 3.
And don't tell me John's going to be playing catch up again and get a big finish. If you didn't see the last game, viewers, John was quite a few shots behind, but he dug deep and he got a result. But, well, looks on a good track. It's all about his pace now. It looks good. Looks very good. Yeah, all the way down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good bowl, Steve.
Just to let you know, on ring 3, Colin has drawn level, picking up 2 on the 3rd end against Kevin Kinsella.
3 have been conceded, and measuring for 4. And while we're just watching this measure go on, I think Steve will be looking to play his natural length, which is probably just over 3/4. He's taken the mat up to the second spot, so
4 conceded.
now he's got the 4 shots, so well played, Steve. That'll settle him down quite a lot.
Yeah, you don't see that happen very often with John Cracknell. As I say, he's normally very, very consistent.
It's very rare that you're going to drop a 4. You can usually get a wood fairly close to cut that down. So you won't be happy, John. But good start from Steve. But as we said earlier, anything can happen in this game.
Well, it proved that last game with John Cracknell, didn't it? Very good comeback.
Good reply, good response from John this.
Yeah. Looks a good line from Steve. Ooh.
Yeah, a little side toucher as well. That's got a little touch on the way through. So that'll take some chalk. So again, for the new viewers, if that bowl then ends up in the ditch at the back, it'll be a live bowl, and this is what the marker's doing now. Just put some chalk on so we know which bowl it is. So if it does end up in the ditch, it's still in the game. Good effort from John. He's on a good road again, Steve here. Good pace, good track. Yeah,
Yes, Steve certainly likes this length of jack.
It's very good. Yeah, it's very good. What John won't want to be doing now is letting Steve get away from him, because this will be very difficult. Steve's a very good draw bowler. He's very consistent, so John will be aware of that.
And also, Steve is very tenacious. He doesn't give way very often, and he's got a very good temperament as well.
He doesn't show any emotion, does he? He's ice cold, isn't he, on the green?
Yeah. You don't see any emotion with Steve, except when he's buying a drink.
Well, you've seen more than I have, because I haven't seen him buy a drink anyway, that's for sure.
Bless him.
Another good bowl from Steve. I mean, he's giving John something to think about.
Yeah.
John's looking to play the backhand. He's just looking for the gap, isn't he? He's just looking anything off Steve's bowl and get onto the jack here. He's not far away.
I mean,
This is a good effort, this is.
Oh.
Oh, he's just got the wrong bowl.
Oh.
Yeah, the edge took him through. If it had connected with the other ball, he would have been pretty much on the jack, I think.
Millimetres, that's all it is, millimetres.
We're talking a 3 again, are we? Yeah, looking at John's expressions there, I think it's 3 to Steve. Well, John's got something to think about now, because Steve, if he settles into this rhythm, he'll be relentless. There's no two ways about that. Number 8-1 is the score. Just a bit of an update on ring 3. It's 5-4 to Colin now. I won't be surprised if that one goes the distance as well today. Another good opening bowl from Steve. Probably just a touch through on weight. He won't be disappointed with that though. Oh, I don't know, it's gone a little bit further than I anticipated. About a yard through, I guess.
Never a bad place though when you're playing John.
It's never. It's always in the game, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's a good ball from John.
Yeah, we all know how good John is at firing.
Talking to the players after the first game, they were all saying that the pace changed quite dramatically.
Right.
The reason I say that, I'm just listening to the heating coming on again.
Yeah.
And they were finding it was difficult to hold the balls back. So let's wait and see what happens. But at the moment, the pace doesn't look too bad.
Steve's got a good bowl here. Jack, nearly Jack High or Jack High.
Is it Jack High or Jack Level these days? Do we know? I think it's a personal choice, isn't it?
Yeah.
Some
yeah.
say Jack Level, don't they? Which means it's the bowl is level with the Jack, and some say Jack High. I say Jack High, but
I think it depends who you who sort of brought you up through the bowl system. You know, the older statesmen of the game, they probably prefer the Jack High, but
it's back to wooden bowl and Jack High and Jack
yeah,
Level. It's all about different terminologies.
Just preference at the end of the day, I think.
Yeah. I think John might have squeezed shot out of this. Steve's on his way down again. Good line. I think he's going to be a touch light and touch narrow.
No,
just holds the line, doesn't he? Look.
I beg to differ. I think Steve's probably got it. Oh, Steve favours him as well. Favours John. So Simon's got it right.
It's hard to tell on the monitor, but
yeah. Interesting. Yeah.
Just changing the camera angle a bit. You can understand that the players want to get in line with the balls to see what's going on. We'll try and get a bit of manoeuvring, but we don't want to disrupt the game, so we'll move the cameras around accordingly. But yeah, they're going to be very tense out there, and we don't want to disrupt anything they're doing. John's coming down on forehand. I'm not sure I would have gone that route myself, but
oh dear. Oh.
Well, it's not made it any worse.
Well, he might have got away with this. He
it's a
might.
Strange decision, isn't it? Do you think?
Might even be lucky. Just the one, Steve thinks. Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it looks slightly different out there, but I would have favoured the backhand and just to clip another ball in. But there we go.
Well,
they've got to make the decision based on being out there, haven't they?
I think, like you said earlier on, it's all on feel and how you think. It's the picture you sort of process yourself as you look up the green and look over the head. Some people see it different.
But you're also, I guess, as well, what you're doing is you're taking into account the rink, because different hands bowl slightly differently, and how well you're bowling on that hand.
Exactly.
So that all comes into the equation.
Of course it does, yeah. How many times have you looked at the head and gone up and had a look from the mat, and then gone up to the head and looked, and it looks totally different?
Oh, massive, yeah, massively. Yeah, it's a different perspective from 30 yards away, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. Certainly is.
So both bowls probably just over a metre short and a metre through. Plenty of room for drawing. You'd expect a lot closer from these guys, but once again, you know, you're talking a semi-final of a singles competition.
A lot of pressure.
Yeah,
A lot of pressure.
There is. You come up for a roll up in the midweek, you can put everything on the jack, can't you? But start playing a competition, it's a whole different ball game.
Yes. This looks quite good from Steve. Yeah.
It's a good
Well
weight,
bowled.
good pace.
Well bowled. Yeah.
Probably about I managed to get a good angle looking across the green here, so it's still about a good foot or two through. But it's a good place. I'm not saying it's a bad ball or anything, but again, Steve is capable of
Just the
getting it,
one Darren scored, so
yeah,
no doubt John will try and use the black ball. Well, the dark blue ball.
He's on a good road here, isn't he? It's all on his way to a pace here, this.
Looks a bit tight though, Simon.
It's only just, it's a bit of both really, yeah.
Yeah.
I suppose the difference is now we're in a slightly different angle for viewing. I can see the bowls live on the green, and there's actually quite a big difference than on the screen. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to get across to the viewers that it probably looks a lot closer at times than it is.
Yeah.
Having said that, that's a good bowl from Steve. He'll be happy with that. It's definitely going to be a draw game, isn't it, this one?
What's John done here? Looks very good. Oh, I think he's been a bit unlucky there.
Yeah, just wriggled the wrong way.
Yeah.
That's one to Steve, I think. Of course, Steve's got another bowl to come as well, so he's going to probably try and see what maximum he can get here.
Well, thing is, I mean, if he's only holding one with the back bowl, he could promote the front. His front
I was just
blue
wondering,
ball on the side.
I was wondering if he was looking at how he could move maybe John's back bowl, but it's just it's for me. If you go for the backhand draw, just make sure you're actually up to the head. You could probably rest that and push it out and get a 3.
Yeah, I think he's got to come a long way around, and he'd have to use a little bit of weight, which would then hold it out.
He's having a go. No, he's just drawn up to it. Yeah, that's sensible, very sensible. Pretty much that's 2 to Steve, isn't it? Yeah, 2 shots Steve, I think. He got no concerns because it was the last ball anyway, wasn't it? He didn't need to worry about it.
That's right.
He was.
It was all on what he wanted to do rather than what John could do. Three.
He picked a 3 up then.
Well, John's going about the same as he did in the first match.
See, this is always for the viewers again. This is always an advantage if you can get hold of the mat and play the length of jack that you prefer, and you maximise on that. You can pick the scores up, and that's where you can get away from players.
Yeah.
Because it'll be interesting if Steve John picks the score up and gets the mat. Can change the whole concept again, can't it, or the whole perspective.
Well, exactly like he proved against Jimmy Collins.
Definitely.
But if Steve can keep doing this, putting one close like he has done here, it's not brilliant, but it's
It's still putting pressure, isn't it?
it
It's still
all-
putting some pressure on John.
yeah, it all cuts the big scores down. That's
John knows he's got to bowl well. He knows he's got to be there or thereabouts.
yeah,
But you kind of knew that with Steve. That's the way he bowls.
yeah. Steve's no mug. He's like I say, he's a very good bowler. Very good.
Yeah, it's a good ball
Well,
from John.
John's here or thereabout. Oh,
Coming
he's
well.
found the gap.
That's a good
But
ball.
he's holding shot.
Yeah, be happy with that, John. Interesting, they both favour the backhand. Long time since I played rink 4, Rich. It's
Right, yeah.
can't remember too much about it, to be honest. I should know more, but I don't think I've played it this season. So it must be playing better on the backhand.
I think a lot of our bowlers, if ever they complain about a rink, it's normally 2 or 4.
And yet,
Yeah,
rink 2 is my national rink. Sam and I, my lad who plays, I mentioned earlier on, we both like to play on rink 2. It's,
I love
it's
it.
got quite a few quirks, but I won't give too much information away because I could potentially be playing on that in the next couple of weeks. So we'll keep that one under our hat.
looks like Steve will be changing his hand.
Well, Steve's very much a forehand player generally, isn't
Yeah.
he? So, it's good to see that he's using his backhand well. But you're right. I think it's a forehand shot, isn't it? Try and move the jack across to his blue bowl, unless he backs himself to draw it. And it looks like he might be.
Or
No,
rest.
he's going at it. No, he's backed himself to draw it.
I think
Just a little
he's
bit of
back-
extra pace.
I think he's backed himself to put a little run on it himself. And
That's
he
a
ain't far
great,
off.
that's a great shot, by the way.
Yeah,
That's a very good shot, Steve. Well played.
yeah, superb.
Oh, right, okay. Yeah.
Again, the
That's,
angles aren't great, so it's difficult to tell, but I think Steve might have the shot.
That's another thing about the bowls is it's not all about drawing. You have to have several types of shot in your armoury for when it's needed.
Yeah, again, that's a great point. I mean, there's the yard-on shot, isn't there, where you just coming
Yeah.
through that little bit of yard to trail the jack. And then, we've seen John, where he's put a bit more pace on, which is, sort of running or firing wood.
I don't think John likes this one.
Well, if it drops in, it could
Oh,
be close. Yeah, it is. He's got it.
yeah. Well done, John. Well bowled.
It's that big swinging bowl again, though, isn't it? He's
Yeah.
coming in, swooping in, and then just drops at the end.
Yeah,
It's,
that's the groove. Yeah, I do that. Yeah.
Now this is what we were saying earlier on now. So John's got the mat and he's taken the mat up. So I would imagine, he's gone almost minimum length if he isn't minimum length. And he'll be putting this on the tee. So it's all about whether he can get the jack onto the tee. So he's changing the length and potentially changing the pattern of play here. So it's who lands on this first, because neither of them have bowled this length. Oh no. So he's gone minimum length and he hasn't quite made it. He was one spot
Oh.
short. So that jack needed to be on the tee to be the correct length.
Yeah,
And,
that's twice now John's done that. He did it on his first match.
See, I'm a big believer, Rich. When I take the mat right up, because we do that quite a lot when I play with my lad, and I usually try and give myself just a bit of breathing space. A spot and a half, because the front
Yeah.
spot is 1.5, so just gives you that little bit of flexibility.
That's better.
Yeah, as I said before, you have a. It's all on your preference.
Yeah, I think if you go in minimum length, you've got to back yourself to do it. And you know, you're not saying don't do it, but it doesn't leave any margin for error if you're a little bit light. But I can see why John was doing it. I mean, he's 11-4 down, so he's going to want to try and change it a little bit if he can. He's got to do something, hasn't he, to change the game effectively?
Well,
because
yeah.
at the minute Steve's
Just like he did with Jim Collins.
yeah.
He's Steve seems to be comfortable, like Jim was early on, and yeah, John just doesn't seem to have the feel with him at the moment.
I spoke to John after the last game, and he was saying that the tactic was to go to the tee, put the mat on the tee, and put the jack sort of in the middle of the green, because it takes you sort of focus points away then, doesn't it? Whereas so it was
I think that's what I said. You start bowling to markers on the back of the green, and if you can shorten it and bowl to the middle of the green or just past, it takes away a lot of the markers because they don't relate to what you've got to bowl. You have to bowl tighter or a little bit heavier, and it takes away the what you're seeing.
John will definitely want to get Steve off this length because it's playing right into his hands. You can see these professional bowls just take a slightly tighter line than John's, but Steve's finding it. Calm.
Yes.
It's going to have to be a draw for John, I think, on this.
Yeah, I think Steve's still holding.
I can't see. I mean, ideally he'd like to pull the jack back, but it's a risky shot. He's going to be looking to draw here.
There's one thing about John, he is very unpredictable.
Yeah.
Sometimes he sees something
Yeah.
what we don't, and bang, that's it.
Well,
He goes for it.
somebody once said to me, you've got to be 100% committed on the shot, and if you are, then, you know, pick your shot and play it.
Yeah.
You're better off being 100% committed to the wrong shot than 20% committed, you know, to the right shot, because either way you...
Oh, I think he's just missed this. Might have shot. Could well have shot.
From where I'm sitting looking onto the green, it looks like it might be John. They might be measuring this.
Steve's just waved his arm, so he ain't sure.
No. Well, Steve's got another bowl to come, so we'll see what happens with this.
And on ring 3, we've got Kevin and Colin, 9-7 to Kevin Kinsella at the moment.
Of course, Kevin's a previous winner of the novice singles, which I think you've got.
Yeah, that was
accolade
about
as well.
30 odd years ago on it.
No, because he played me. He played me in the final, and it was about 8 years ago, 9 years ago. But fair play
Is
to
it that
Kevin.
long? Crikey.
Yeah, I think it's my 9th season playing bowls. I wish I'd played this 25 years ago, to be honest with you. But how many times you hear that people say, "I wish I'd have started this game a lot
Well,
earlier."
yeah, that's true.
Yeah, I'm not picking size. Colin's a lovely man, lovely bowler. I'm not picking size, but it would be nice to see for me Kevin in the final. But either way, whoever wins, absolutely fine.
Well, like we say, I mean, it's with any sport, it's on the day. You do the business on the day.
That's the thing, isn't it?
That's
It's
it.
on the day.
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think it's very naive. Any player that ever walks on the green think it's a given and they're going to win it. It's very dangerous territory to be on, I think, that one.
Well, it's not just that. It's been a little bit. What's the word?
Arrogant?
Arrogant, yes, yes.
I said it earlier in the last broadcast that anybody can beat anybody in this game. So we're measuring for is that
One for John, I believe.
I think it is just the one for John, isn't it?
All right.
It's good practice though, isn't it? So
So, I mean, with it being a Saturday, you can guarantee a lot of people are going shopping and
yeah, it's all good. So John's changed the length slightly. It's not a great difference. I'll be interested to see how Steve bowls this, but obviously once John's put the jack up, he'd be expecting to bowl to it. He's already got a feel for the length that he's bowling to, so yeah, that's a reasonably good opener for John. Yeah, he'd be happy with that. That's a good start.
the big issue about changing the lengths is that you have to drop on it. If you can drop on it
Yeah.
straight away, that's when it puts the pressure on the other person. If you don't drop on it, you give it back. You give the onus back to the other person who's just lost the end. But yeah,
I remember playing one year, and I got a good start in the singles. I was about 8-0 up, and the player I was playing against, I won't name him today, but I was playing against. He moved the mat every end, and he did it to disrupt me. So it stopped me getting into a rhythm, knowing full well that it might disrupt him as well. But the fact was, it disrupted me more. And then once he got the score back, got it on the length he wanted to play, and off he went. So, yeah, like I said, it's not just about bowling the wood. There's a lot more tactics in terms of the jack length and how you play that, how you change it about.
I remember. I mean, some of the older bowlers would probably relate to this gentleman who I'm going to mention, David Bryant. And
Yeah.
I think he had a tendency to move the mat up and down, but I believe he always kept the same length, but he just kept moving.
Just move the jack position.
He just moved the mat 2 yards up. The jack would, but the length of the jack from the mat would nearly always stay in about the same distance. It was just.
Well, that's interesting because again we mentioned this earlier. We touched on it earlier. If you bring the mat up and bowl to the tee, the opposite end, it gives you a different perspective from putting the mat on the tee and bowling halfway up the green. It's a totally different feel and a totally different look. So yes, you could be playing the same length, but have a whole different perspective based on where the jack sits.
Yeah.
But,
I think it's just like looking at a view of the fields in front of you. The closer you move to the fields, they look bigger.
yeah.
There's a different outlook on it.
Yeah.
The further away you go, it does sort of disorientate you a little bit.
Yeah.
You're thinking of one thing and something else is happening.
So John's having a look. He's not quite sure who's got a shot here. It's nice to see him smiling, having a bit of a laugh and a joke. But I say Steve doesn't show a lot of emotion anyway. He's very much. But I think that might be a tight measure. But we'll see. Anyway, there's a couple of bowls to come, so. So Colin and Kev's 10-9 up against Colin. And obviously we've got Steve 11-5 up against John.
just love the way Steve meanders up and meanders back. He doesn't let anything
Very
rush
relaxed.
him.
He's very
Yeah,
relaxed.
he'll
He's
he's
very relaxed.
sound. It's
What's the phrase? A duck on water.
oh,
Probably
I
looks
tell
as
you.
cool as cucumber on the top, and his legs are paddling away. But, he's making sure he's up with this again, isn't he? Because any movement on that jacket.
I tell you what, it doesn't look too bad. Probably going a bit tight, but oh no, he's got round. Oh.
So I got a bit distracted then. So that's one shot to John, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So we're talking a 5-shot difference. So that's
Yeah.
you know, in this game, we've seen it earlier on. It's nothing really, is it? A couple of ends and it's all square
Well,
there,
that's
but
right. That's right. Sometimes if you drop a 3, you say, oh, blow. It can take 2 or 3 ends to drag them back. But sometimes one end and that's it.
I actually thought John would put that in the ditch again then, but he's managed to keep it on.
Yeah, we'll just give you a better view of it. No,
A good opener again from John. So what's Steve
Steve,
got here?
just a
pushed
little
it.
bit weighty.
Yeah, he's pushed it. Yeah, he's pushed that one a little bit. But again, here you go. We're talking about jack lengths and perfect example, really, isn't it?
Steve's wood just stayed on. Hmm.
Does this look light? No, he's alright on pace, look. Oh, I thought that was going to pull up.
It has.
Yeah. I thought it was going to pull up a bit more than that, to be fair, but...
What a lovely line though.
Yeah, all over it on green, wasn't he?
Yes. He won't be short the next time. Well, he shouldn't be, let's put it that way.
Another good effort from John, this is. Yeah, once again, I've got a feeling it's not...
Oh dear.
It's not as warm out there as the players would probably like it. The warmer it is, the quicker the pace runs, and I'm kind of getting the impression it's.
This doesn't look too bad. Oh.
You see, that's the danger. If it's pulling up, you want to give it that little bit extra, don't you? And
That's
just,
right.
Just push it through.
That's right, yeah.
Just looking for a little bit extra, another foot or two.
Thing is, he can be a little bit tighter because of his blue ball that's forward of the jack. So if he does come in a little bit earlier, he's got a chance of pushing that up.
This is a whole lot
This
better
is
from
better.
John. Yeah, a lot better from John. This is. He's not cleared it.
Well,
Oh, that surprised me.
I can't believe that. That has surprised me as well. That looked really nice.
He looked all over it, didn't he? It looked like he was,
Yeah,
was coming right up to the jack.
yeah. And we've got an 11-9 score on ring 3 with Kevin Kinsella still holding on to the lead against Colin Ross.
Yeah, he's tried it again and again. He's pushed and it's hung out.
Yeah.
The idea was right. I think he's not going to come down to John's bowl or drop inside and pick the jack up. But That was 3 bowls. That
Yeah.
stayed up and obviously pushed it. I think it's frozen. Yeah, we're okay.
That's better, isn't it?
He might need to go back in now. I think they've just taken the shorter. John's just taken the shorter jack length. Now, equally importantly, I can smell bacon cooking. So I'm thinking lunchtime in a minute, but we've got to get this game out of the way. We've got to get this game out of the way. But,
Yeah, he's probably cooking the meat for the afternoon.
sounds like it, doesn't it?
Bowls matches.
So we're 11-7, Steve.
Yeah, Steve needs to get the mat back, otherwise he's going to be back to square one soon.
Well, since John's taken it onto his length that he wants to play, he's been picking the scores up, which you'd expect. So it's all about now trying to get the mat back again. That'll be Steve's objective. Whether he gets 1 shot or 2 shots, he'll just want to get hold of the mat so he can dictate the length of the jack.
Yeah,
Whereas at the moment, John's...
that's a very good ball by John.
No, I'd say this is a good green for Steve. No, it's all on his pace here. He's not here
Right,
again.
he's not there.
He's not there. Well, that does surprise me.
Yes.
Which is up to John to capitalise on this now.
Oh, I just pushed it through a bit. That's
Yeah, I think they're struggling to find the pace, to be honest with you.
well, it's a consistency, isn't it? Really. That's
Well, it's definitely a bit cooler in here than it was earlier on. And of course it does change the line, doesn't it? It changes
Yeah.
the green and the line you need to take.
well, Steve's got
Temperature's
better
good.
weight, but
He's missed the
just
line.
a bit tight.
Yeah, he's
Yeah.
missed the line. Oh, I wonder if John will be looking to take this back a bit. He certainly won't be short.
I think John needs to get another one in, because if Steve takes the bowl out, it could be 4.
Well, judging by the pace, I think he was trying to just manoeuvre the jack back a touch, but you're right. If Steve gets this right now and he gets that John's front bowl out, depending how far the back bowl is of John's, could be a score here for Steve.
Yeah, I think John's
I think
that
it's
last
close enough.
bowl of John's is close enough to take
think it is?
Steve's front 2 out.
Yeah,
So
maybe. Once again, I wonder if he's pushed it. Yeah, it looks like he's pushed it.
yeah,
It's only the one, but struggled a little bit on pace there, did Steve?
it's only the one, but the point is he's getting back at him.
A one's a one, and you know.
That's the thing. He's nibbling away, and the longer it goes on, the harder it is for Steve to.
Well, it knocks your confidence as well, doesn't it? You know, if the opponent's creeping back, you're just trying to figure out what can you do? What can you do to win the game or win the end? And he does.
I mean, fair credit to John Cracknell. He's sticking in there. He's sticking in there. He's not bowling what we would class as his best, as we've seen him bowl over the past few years. But he's sticking in. That's the main thing.
Like I said again, it's different pressure, isn't it? When you're actually in
Yeah.
a semi-final, your emotions and your feelings are little bit different from a normal Tuesday league game.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
totally different.
Yeah. This don't look too bad from Steve.
Yeah, they're both missing the line a little bit, aren't they? It's Steve's got away with it more because his bowls don't swing quite as much as John's, but I don't know if it's they don't feel confident that the bowls are going to get back. I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's a good bowl. Yeah, nice place as well.
Come right round the back, lovely.
Yeah, good position.
Take shot wood.
Steve's not hanging around on the mat, he's straight on the mat. Oh,
Steve, what's this?
just pushed it through.
Oh,
Now that would suggest to me that Steve's not comfortable with his draw game at the moment, and that's why he played that shot, because normally you'd back him to just draw that, and there's enough gap between the bowl and the jack. I just don't think he's comfortable at the moment. It's going to go under the head. There's an opportunity for Steve.
yeah, he's let him off the hook a little bit here. This looks a better line, doesn't it?
I just think he's pushed it again.
Pushed it again, yeah. Yeah.
Not by much, but once again, I think Steve will be he'll be happy that he's got second wood, but I think he'll be a little bit disappointed.
I think I don't know. If I'm struggling like that, I'd probably like to send one a little bit through, just with a little bit of weight. 'Cause
Change it up a bit. Yeah.
Well, just take a bit of frustration out of the game, out of the arm.
Yeah. I know what you're saying. Sometimes it's just nice to get rid of all that frustration.
Yeah.
He's
This
drawn
looks
another
good,
one here,
this
John. Yeah,
does.
he's drawn another good ball here, John. Well,
Well, tell you now, I think
I know
Steve
exactly what you're
might
thinking.
just play a little bit of a.
he's got shoulder, hasn't he? He's got the John's last bowl, and he's got John's back bowl to sit on. So a bit of pace, and we're only talking a yard over, aren't we, on pace here?
I think I'd switch my hand as well and just put a bit of run through it. Comes across.
Would you? No, I think I'd play the backhand. I think this is the sort of shot I would have played, but
Well, he ain't far
he's
off.
got that shoulder. I don't know, just a little bit high, wasn't he?
Oh,
If that had been a half a bowl
yeah. That's.
tighter, it'd have been a perfect bowl.
But I think that's why I might have come the other way,
hand, yeah.
because then you're coming into the bowl rather than going away from it.
No, that's a fair point. Definitely one. Having a look at two here. Let's get Darren earning his living.
Interesting. Well, he's definitely dragged himself back from the brink. What was it? 10-2 down.
Yeah. It was
Yeah.
quite a big gap, but he did this in the last game, didn't he? So
Yeah. Well,
he's
this is it.
capable.
Yeah.
Put it this way: whatever happens, he'll have done it. Make it the hard way, won't he? He'll do it the hard
Yeah.
way.
Definitely. I think if he does get to the final, he'll be a lot happier, because I would imagine it would be in the afternoon, which,
Different temperature.
well, different temperature, but also you'll probably get up a bit earlier.
So I'm not quite sure what the outcome of that was. So I didn't really get an indication. So it's
Yeah.
definitely one shot. We'll wait and see what
Darren's left his
what Darren the marker does on his way up.
left his rubber underneath the bowl.
Oh, he's left a chock under the bowl.
Yeah, the chock. Yeah.
Yeah, Steve's going to collect it. Give it him back.
That's it. Waste a bit of time.
So is John using a bit
Two.
of tactics here? I don't know whether this is tactical or... So we're 11-10. It's a different game again now, isn't it? We said this again earlier, didn't we? That the game can change so quickly. And I was just wondering when Darren went down to measure then if he was going to get back up again.
We all,
I hope he
have that,
doesn't.
we all have that problem.
I hope he doesn't watch that back. That won't go down well. Mind you, I walked in this morning, the first thing he did was have a rib at me, but he asked me if I'd like to pick a number out of the bag, and then said, "Oh, of course you're not in it, are you?"
Yes, I was there. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah.
But we take it on the chin. We give as good as we get, don't we?
That's it. You give it.
It's all in good
You
spirit.
take it.
It's all in good spirit.
We've all been there. We've all been there. Yeah. The other end we want. That's it.
Apologies with a bit of technology going on here. We just we're new to the system, so please bear with us.
Right, John's changed.
Doesn't help
Changed
that he
again.
changes the length. We've got to go and it a
Put
bit
the mat
tighter.
on the tee and
Yeah.
bowled short.
Again, he's like we said again. He's playing this sort of the tactical element now, isn't he? He's really thinking about this.
Yeah.
It's clever. It's clever bowling.
He's just making Steve think about it as well. Well, this is what we were saying earlier on. If you can get that first wood in when you do things like that, it makes it so hard for the opposition.
Psychologically, it does, doesn't
Yeah.
it? You kind of
But
think.
Steve's that's not too bad. It's not far off the line.
Looks on a good road again here, John. Yeah, that's good. And just in behind, look, so he hasn't made the target any bigger either, really. So that's good bowling.
Yeah, he's making Steve play his shots.
Oh, he's got to think about this. I mean, Steve's just going to look to draw. But yeah, John's played two nice woods there. And just looking across at Kevin Kinsella and Colin Ross. Got Kevin's on 15, Colin's on 10. So Kevin's in quite a commanding position at the minute. John, I don't know if it was intentional to put the bowl there. I think that was to block it. I don't think it was, because Steve will be looking to draw anyway, so I don't think that was intentional. I think he just pulled up. We've got two bowls to come, so John will be thinking now, where's the danger? To be honest, I think he just draws up on his backhand, doesn't he?
Oh, Colin Ross has got 2 on ring 3. He's holding 2. Kevin's just fired and taking his out. No,
No, it didn't work, did it?
no.
Sorry, that was my fault trying to get a better angle on it. Steve was standing right behind the head. But John basically tried to play a bit more weight on the shot, but
Oh, Colin, you
didn't
can't
work out.
afford to do that. Never mind, never mind.
So Steve's got last wood here, and he's obviously looking at how he can move the jack. The jack is just in front of the 2 light blue woods, and I guess Steve's looking at how he can probably, I can't see what the gap is, so it's a case of whether he can get in. It's whether he can actually get into the wood, into the jack, or whether, and draw it off, or whether he's got to play something else. It's a little bit difficult to see from here, but from what I can tell, it looks like it might be, he might be able to draw this. But well, he's gone with a little bit more pace, so I think he might be just trying to move the jack. Well, he's not far away here.
You might get a nice wick off the front one.
Well, to be honest with you, if that front one hadn't have been there,
Well,
I think he might have got a result out of that. So it makes me wonder whether John actually did play that
yeah,
wood in the first
looks
place.
like John, it's gone all square now.
So we're 11 all, and John's changed the mat position now. So he's brought the mat up and he's pushed the jack back towards the tee. So the length is very similar to what he's been playing. He's just changed the position of the jack. He would have been, I wouldn't have expected him to change length because he's bowling well at the moment with it, and Steve's not finding it. So yeah, it's playing a good tactical game, John, at the moment. I think Steve's just crept in with the last shot. Just about 2 foot short, I think that is. Yeah, so John 18 inches and Steve just a little bit more, couple of feet. There's a bit of a groan from John, so I don't think he's happy with that. He's pushed that through. But that won't hurt. As you say, always better at the back than they are short.
Yeah, Steve looks to have a nice run here.
Clean run through.
Well bowled.
Yeah, that's a good bowl from Steve. Clean run through. I'm wondering whether John is thinking he can get some purchase on his front bowl if he needs it. He's looking to draw up, but
Looks a bit heavy to me.
yeah,
That
he
does.
looks- he's taken quite a high line and he's pushed that. So
I think Steve will go the same way here as he did before. He's always got a chance of pushing his wood up a little bit if he's tight.
I get the feeling John was trying to move that jack then. That was his plan,
Yeah.
but I think he just missed the line. But yeah, I think Steve's just draw again, doesn't he? It doesn't matter if he's
Well, if he's tight and just gets a roll on his, it'll be in the count. But he looks to be good anyway. Yeah. Well bowled.
He'll be happy with
Well
that.
bowled.
And
Yeah.
it's fairly well protected on that side as well. So
Yeah.
so John's just looking to draw down on the backhand. If he can pick the jack up, it's a bonus.
It's tight.
It's that
Tight
pace
and
again,
light.
isn't it? It's
Yeah.
just
Well,
lost the pace. Just lost the pace on that.
Very surprised at that. Very surprised.
The thing is, you work really hard to get yourself back in the game at 11 all, and what you don't want to be doing now is dropping a 3, do you?
Yeah.
And that's where John's frustration will be. He's worked so hard to get himself back in the game, and all of a
Yes.
sudden...
Yeah, without a doubt, that's right. On ring 3, Kevin has just picked a 3 up to go 18-12 in front.
We could be seeing Kevin Kinsella in the final then. Well bowled, Steve.
Well bowled, Steve Morris.
And that's what Steve can do. He's capable of that, isn't he?
Yeah.
That's such a good idea then, Helen.
Not sure how much background noise our viewers will be getting. We've got a few people starting to turn up now. There's a big game on this afternoon, friendly match, and people are starting to arrive, so it might get a little bit louder. Right, just give Steve that 3-shot difference. That'll settle him down a little bit because he's been struggling, hasn't he, last few ends.
Yeah, he's back on his favoured.
Well, he's on his length now, isn't he?
length
So,
now.
yeah.
But as what always happens, nearly always happens, we get back to our own length and then we drop it short or plough it through.
How many times?
That's what I said before. You know, if you can get back to your length and put one on, it does put the pressure on the opposition.
Yeah.
And
See, that's a perfect example. John's
just bowled a good length wood.
Well, I'm looking on the screen, and Steve's bowl doesn't look that far away, but actually looking down the green, it's a good yard away, isn't it?
Oh,
you know, it's
probably nearer 4 foot.
Yeah, so there's plenty of room, but he's absolutely drawn this, has he? If it sits down, he's got to be close.
It is close.
I'd favour Steve on that. What do you think? Well, it's a measure. I think I heard favours Steve, but it's a measure. Nice little channel there for John. Something to rest on. He'll be looking to play down.
Looks a bit heavy again, but
Yeah, he's pushed it again. It suggests that the pace is catching him out. Might be a little bit high for Steve's bowl, this. Don't think he's going to get back enough. Yeah, it looked a bit high all the way down, that did, so... When we talk about a high line, we're talking about a wider bowl. So you take a wider line, so we sometimes term it as a
there's another one I think's heavy. Yeah.
higher bowl.
John's.
Well, you got a chance here, Steve. I wonder if you'll try and take John's bowl.
Well,
I mean, it's a
that's
4.
an idea.
Well, the thing is, he can play that tighter line, can't he? And he can promote his own bowl if he doesn't. Or he can take John's bowl out. Or at least move it out.
Even if
I don't know, it's-
he half hits the jack, it'll go to his. So
he's gonna draw
yeah,
it.
I mean,
Let's have a
an
look.
opportunity anyway.
What are you going to do, Steve? No, he's just playing it safe. He's drawing. It's pretty sensible, I guess. don't think he needs to chase it, does he, at 14-11? He just wants to score, doesn't he?
Yeah,
But I don't think he'd be very happy with that. He's given John an opportunity here.
but John's having a run at it.
Well,
Always well wide.
well, again, this is back to measuring, I think.
Yes, he certainly went for the jack there to.
From this angle, it looks like Steve, but you can't tell, can you? So it's
No, it's very close. These chaps are never far away when they ask the question. Another thing that happens, and that is if you got different coloured bowls, sometimes one looks closer than another.
yeah, that's true.
One to Steve by the look of that.
Yeah, I'd have been. I'd have put some money on that one. So Kevin's up to 19-12 now.
Yes, looks very ominous for Colin.
Yeah, he's battled back well though, Colin. He's not been. He's not had it all his own way, Kev, but.
He's done the business at the moment.
I don't know if I mentioned earlier, Kevin knocked me out in the first round when we
Did he?
played. Yeah, so I've got a vested interest. I'd like him to win it. And it was a good battle that first game I played against him. Credit to him, he played very, very well that day. How's your pace on this one, John?
Bit heavy again.
Yeah, pushing it through. I will say the heaters on the... I found this on Friday night on rink 6. Going away from the bar, the pace was about 1.5 yards difference. It was slower. And this is how it appears to be. The one heater's working this end, and I think the bowls come in this direction are rolling through.
Yeah,
Which is probably why we're getting the shorter bowls the other end.
possibly, yeah. You've also got to remember the back ball going the other way is out to the elements.
Yeah, absolutely, so it cools it down. Well, Steve's holding the one shot. John's just not quite got the pace right on this
I think
on this length.
Steve's got to be careful because John isn't always going to miss these running bowls if he's got bowls at the back.
Well, he's played it safe here. He's played a sensible shot, Steve. If he splits the two, that's a good bowl. Yeah, that's not bad. I mean,
No.
he could have done with another foot, couldn't it, or so, a couple of foot. But
I'd rather have had it behind.
yeah, you've got to be behind. But it would have been nice to. Yeah, he's definitely not finding that weight, is he?
No.
Well,
And we look at the screen and it does look as if those forwards at the back are further behind than what they really are.
I'm looking across, and I would say that's at least 1 yard to the closest blue bowl, light blue bowl, and I would say about 4 foot to the other two. So yeah, it is a bit further. Now, the question is,
Bit deceptive.
It
Bit
is.
deceptive.
And the question here is, Rich, does he get a bowl right behind the blue woods, or does he get in front of the blue woods, the light blue woods, just to, I can't see John trailing it back that far. Can
Me
you?
personally, I'd like one in front of his front wood.
Yeah, that one there that's coming in. Yeah, that's a good place. It's a good shot.
Well, it's in the count. It's in the
It's a
count.
very good
That's
shot.
the
Well, as you say, it's in the count, and it's protecting. can't imagine John's going
And
to
in
come
all
at this.
fairness, a 2 here would be very nice to put Steve on the 17 mark, which always gives you the chance
It does.
of running out.
It does. John's going to be drawing. He's not
Yeah.
going to. He's not going to do anything silly here. I can't imagine he's going to.
Steve again.
Yeah, he's.
Well,
That's a surprise.
2.
Just couldn't find the pace at all, could he, John? Then.
No. Like, I think you've hit the nail on the head by what you say. It's running a bit this way and holding up, going the other way.
So I've got to go on 17-11. So. Steve's in the driving seat here. Just got to keep a cool head. But we've seen it again with John last match. He's very good at digging in, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see something similar. So Kevin's on 20, Colin on 12. So Kevin's one shot off being in the final. Now Kev's a very expressive player. He shows all the emotions, and I think he's just taking stock at the moment, taking a few deep breaths, sending the jack up. I'm not quite sure what Steve's done there. It's moved up. The camera screen was sticking, but that's not up to Steve's normal expectations. But again, we're in a semi-final. John's definitely not finding it at the moment, is he? Weight's good, but he's missed the line on that one. There's a little shake of John's head then. Yeah, he's definitely not happy. Kev's just come down, or I thought he got a front toucher then.
Well, Steve's bowled another beauty here by the look of it. Yeah, he wouldn't be too unhappy about that.
It's good bowling from Steve, that.
I mean, myself and Simon say these are good bowls. I mean, a lot of people would be saying, well, we've been watching Potters, but you got to remember we're just not quite in their category. We're only just under it, but we're they've got the consistency.
It's different levels and different standards,
It is,
isn't it?
yeah.
It is, and you know, at the end of the day, if we were doing what they were doing at Potters, we'd be playing at Potters.
Yeah, we'd be having
Simple as.
a free chalet and food and
Yeah, but
everything else. That's right. Yeah. And me and Simon would be looking to, what's his name? Corky.
oh right,
Yeah.
yeah, okay, Corky.
Corky and Rishi. Bless them both.
Well, I would imagine Steve will be looking at the backhand. I think he'll be looking to try and tuck this jack away if he can.
Ideally just behind, right at the very back, about 6 inches at the back.
I think you're right, he's just trying to make sure he's got cover. No, I think he was trying to move the jack, personally.
Worcester. Worcester. Barble. Give you a mention.
Yeah, I think he was. I think the intention there from Steve was to just try and shift the jack across a little bit, pick a score up. That's why he put the pace on it. But I don't think he was trying to cover, because there was no real need to cover. I mean, John really is looking to draw. That's so. Yeah, good effort from Steve. See what he's trying to do. So John will be looking to draw this down now on the backhand. See if he can get to the jack.
This looks better. Oh,
Yeah, just that bit of pace again. Looks like one to Steve, but we'll see.
yes. After we've finished with our semi-finals, the Bromsgrove Indoor Bowling Club have got a match against Barbourne from Worcester, which is a friendly. Well, I say a friendly, but they'll be at each other's throats, I'm sure, to win the match. But we have to say that they are a lovely club, indoors and outdoors. Oh, I think they are outdoors, saying that.
I say Barbourne
And
are
they
an
play
outdoor
at.
club,
I think they
yeah.
play at Malvern indoor. But yeah, we have a lot of. We know a lot of people from Barbourne.
Played at Barbourne outdoors. I used to play outdoors. It's a great setting, lovely club, nice people.
Yeah. But I say they're playing a friendly against Bromsgrove. So good luck to them. Good luck to our team.
Enjoy it.
Enjoy
Main
it,
thing is enjoy
exactly.
it. Enjoy your bowls.
And I will look forward to playing them outdoors.
I'm joining you this year, aren't I? At Hull. Coming to Hull to play bowls with you outdoors.
Yeah, I know a couple of the players, Martin and Bob Jones. Yeah, not very nice people, but they'll be all right.
Well, I'm just looking at rink 3, and I think Colin has just picked a decent score up here. Steve's just drawn another. That's a great position for Steve. If that sits down, even better, but he'll be happy with that. That's good. Now the question is John going to come at this and put a bit of weight in it? I think he'll want to try and move this, John. I don't think he's going to be hanging around here, John. Yeah, he's going to come at this. He's got to come at this. I can't imagine he'd do anything else. Yeah, extra bit of weight on it. It's just whether it holds now. He's going to go. He's gone. He's lost it.
Well, now.
Well, that tells you where to put the next bowl, Steve.
Yeah, it certainly does.
The next one should be at the back, I think.
I think he'll go to the side spot.
Well, it depends what happens to the... because it's very difficult to see where the jack... Oh, yeah, OK, so... Yeah, there's a chance it could go to the respot.
Yeah.
So there's a slight angle on the front bowler, Steve's. It's touching, so it potentially could go out to the respot.
Steve has bowled it wider.
He's bowled it to the respot. You can't see it, unfortunately, but you can now, but you can see he's gone down to the respot, which is just in front of Darren's feet. So it's yeah, that's good. That's clever. That's intelligent bowling.
Plus, he's also got the best back now. If he does manage to creep past. I remember the last match John played in against Jimmy Coates. This was a similar scenario.
Yeah, exactly right. Well, Jimmy couldn't get off 19 for quite a while, could he? And John just clawed it back. But again, speaking to Jimmy after the game, I think he was obviously disappointed, but he knew he missed an opportunity.
Without a doubt, yes.
He knew. But that's bowls, as they say. Well, if I was Steve, I don't think I'd be anywhere near this. I think I'd be making sure, I think he's going to cover the other spot, isn't he, just in case, or is he just going to get something behind? He might even be drawing, but I don't think I'll be anywhere near this.
If he draws it and he gets 3, that's the winning.
Well, it is, as long as he doesn't make the head bigger, and he hasn't. That's not bad at all, is it, Steve? It's not bad. He hasn't made the head any bigger, so John's still got to...
Well, John's...
I think that's it.
John's playing
I don't think John's coming back on
A
this
bit
one.
wide, yeah.
I think that's the game. And I tell you what, that was a great last ball from Steve, wasn't it? Because I think they're going to be measuring this, but I think you were right. I think that last ball from Steve. Yeah, then.
Well,
Okay, so we definitely got 2 shots. We're measuring for the match here.
yeah.
It's either another end or
John looks very disappointed up to now, but
he doesn't look confident,
he's
does he?
still in the game. Just
Well, I've just looked across, and Steve's signalled that he thinks it's 2 shots, and John's got the measure, but we will know in a few seconds' time. But yeah, Steve indicated that he thinks John's got the 3rd wood or 3rd bowl.
well,
Darren's taking a bit of time on this, so, and quite rightly so. It's an important decision. So there's a bit of pressure on the marker here as well. Did you not think?
yes.
You know, he's going to be feeling this as well.
Yes, this is very close. Looks like John's.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, so Steve was right. He's got good eyes there. So 2 to Steve.
Which puts him on 20.
And he's got a 9-shot lead, so he should be fairly relaxed going into this next end, shouldn't he? Just got to keep it together now.
Well, it's all the way now for John Cracknell. There's
He's
no
done it before.
mistakes.
He's done it before, so he can do it again. I've just looked at rink 3. Collins picked up a score on the last 2 ends, so it's now 20-14 on rink 3. So Kevin Kinsella's 20-14 in front, and it's back to what we said earlier again, isn't it? You know, you get stuck on that number, and Kev's been on that for 3 ends now, 20. So
Yes.
he'll be just hoping he can sneak one in now. No, he's going to have a look. This is a good opener from Steve. Yeah, that's okay. Probably a bit wider than he thought he would have liked, but it's in the area.
Well, how are you, mate? All right.
Oh, did you watch the first one? Yeah. Yeah, good ball from John. Good reply from John. It was. It's pressure. Yeah, it's a little bit wide and just not. Yeah. You can't read Steve's emotions. You don't know what he's thinking, do you? He's very much keeps himself to himself, but no, John's short on this one.
Yeah.
Well, big opportunity for Steve, this.
Yes, we've got a gentleman next to me, Arthur Jackson, one of our leading bowlers. Come to play in the friendly afterwards against Barbourne. He's, as outdoor bowlers would know, he's been a national champion with 1 or 2 years' experience. 50, I'm informed.
Just changes the view a bit. Yeah, that's it. No, the other one. Next one. Oh, he's gone now, so we're all right. No, Steve will stand in the way now.
Oh, right.
That's okay, we're all right. You can excuse them.
Yeah.
A very pressured game.
Oh, he's feeling the pressure. You can tell that. But he's so calm about it.
It's just a straightforward backhand draw for John.
That's it.
Straightforward. And when your heart rate's going
Yeah.
at about 160, it's he's not far away here, John. Pace looks a lot better. Oh, I don't know. He's pulled up.
Yeah.
Well, that surprised
And
me.
just a quick update on ring 3, the other semi-final. Kevin Kinsella has triumphed over Colin Ross. So that's the first person into the men's final.
Well done, Kevin. Congratulations to Kevin Kinsella.
Yeah, well done,
Well
Kevin.
deserved.
Yeah, it's Steve taking his time here.
But you know what? You call me what you like, but I'd be playing my backhand if I was Steve now. I'd be playing a backhand shot. I would. Yeah, I would. Yeah, I'd come round that. I'd come round that and tuck the jack away.
Yeah, I'd go
Would you?
the other way, yeah. I'd go the other way.
I'd play John's hand for him. Got nothing to lose. You're 9 shots in front, but different game.
Thing is, he can come the other way and, block it out a little bit. Yeah.
I would have backed myself to draw that. But there we go. I'm not in the semi-finals. So.
How comfortable you feel, isn't it?
Well,
It's how comfortable you feel playing.
Yeah,
hard.
exactly. And yeah, Arthur's just made that
That's
point.
what we've said all the way
We've said
through.
it through on the commentary. It's what you feel comfortable with. And Steve's a forehand player, so it's understandable. But I just felt I might have tried to play John's shot for him and just take that away a little bit.
Well, he's got to be here whatever happens.
Well, if he doesn't make this,
It's gone through.
he's got it.
Oh, well bowled.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. That's why I would have fancied the backhand. But that's just
Well
personal
bowled.
choice. It's personal
Well
choice. That's what it is. It's personal choice. So we go again then.
John's still hanging in there again. Still a long way to go. So Arthur, what are you playing today, this afternoon?
VP's evolving.
That's the vice
Oh,
presidency.
right.
Worcestershire vice presidency, is that right?
Yeah.
Against Barbour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right, Worcester Vice
Have
President.
you had your massage and you're all limbered up ready for the game, are you?
Plenty of wintergreen.
That's a good opening bowl from John. Yeah, well played, John. Good shot.
Yeah, just what John needed to settle his nerves on this end anyway.
Well, the way it's going with John today, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets his back to neck and neck. I really wouldn't, but
Steve ain't got a bad bowl here. Good start.
well, if the pressure wasn't enough, we've got a crowd now. There's probably about 50 or so people, so that just takes the intensity up a little bit more.
There's a good ball from John.
Good effort from John.
Yes.
About a foot or so short, but that he won't mind that because takes a shot away from Steve anyway. That's for sure.
Well, Steve ain't light here. He's tight. Oh, he is light. He's light and tight.
Well, this is tension, isn't it? This is
Yeah.
your body tensing up now. This is, isn't it? This
Yeah,
is
you
it. This
need
is,
to
that's what this is
follow
about.
them through.
Well, I'll tell you what. If John picks a score up here, it'll be interesting. Well, that's
Yeah, that is.
okay, John. I wouldn't be angry about that. I think he's very happy with himself. He's a bit disappointed, but I think that's a pretty good bowl myself.
I don't go with what's it weight, just not too heavy, but just, yeah. Yard and a half
So
of
is,
weight.
is this a dead draw for Steve, or is he going to come down with a little bit more pace, do you think? No,
Whatever
he's going for the dead
happens,
draw. He's going for the dead draw.
he's got to be up. Well, he's better, I'll tell you. He's better.
Well, Steve's moved the jack back, but I still feel that it's probably 2 shots to John. I was a bit surprised Steve might not. He might have come down with a little bit more pace and tried to
Well.
move the jack. But again, it's personal choice.
No, nobody wants to give way.
I think if I was John now, I would definitely be protecting and getting in just behind.
Yeah, John
Shot the
Cracknell
ball at the
holding 2.
I mean, the way that's positioned, if Steve came down to the forehand with a bit of pace, that jack could squirt out to his bowl anyway. So let's see what John does.
Well, we know where Steve would like John's bowl. Just about 6 inches wide of his. Give him a bit of a...
Yeah, he's definitely,
I'll
he's
tell
definitely
you.
covering, isn't he? Yeah, he's getting onto Steve's back ball. It's an intelligent bowl, really. You don't really want to be getting into the head. Oh, well. Okay.
Oh, what a
Well,
good
that's actually-
effort.
well,
What
to
a
be
good
honest,
effort.
That's not a bad bowl at all, that. It is, isn't it? It's a very well placed bowl, that. It's
It is.
it's
but
taken a shot away for Steve, that has. Well, he might still get a squirt or a wriggle with a jack, and it comes out. But yeah. It's whether he's got the confidence to play the weighted shot. Well, I can't see. John's in the way, but it looks a decent bowl coming down. Has he got it? Oh.
I think I'd have
That
been a
was
little
so
bit
close.
more positive. Just a wee
That
bit
was so
more.
close. Unlucky. Good effort, Steve. Brilliant.
Yeah. It's at least 2, won't it? We'll soon see. 2.
So 2 shots to John then, so we're at 2014. Steve just needs to find that 1 wood. That's all he's looking for, the 1 wood. John, he's done this before, he did it in the last game. Just keeps chipping away and chipping away. That's where the experience comes from.
Good start by John.
He's experienced head. Yeah, definitely the bodies are tensing up a little bit here. We're very, very close to the end, and
Well, if John puts
you can see it.
one on the jack with this, it'll put Steve under a little bit of pressure.
It's a high line. I don't think he'll get back on
But I
that
think
line.
he's gone through again. Well, yeah.
Steve just wants to get something close to that jack, and he'll be as happy as
Larry.
This is where you'd be happy with a front toucher, wouldn't you? Or a back toucher, or a toucher.
I'll tell you what, he's got it, hasn't he? That falls.
It's close. Well, Darren's done the
Sensible
shuffle
thing.
He's done the shuffle around the bowls, and then
He's done the sensible
said
thing
it'd
and
be a
not
measure.
committed,
Not
committed
committed.
himself.
well, it'd be a brave man to say, wouldn't it? Let's face it.
Oh,
That's another one in the measure. Steve's just thinking, can I just draw one onto this jack, and that's it, it's done. The game's done, but that's easy. So I've just said Arthur, it's played my best bowl sitting here watching from the sideline. Well,
he's
he's on a good
close.
line.
He
What's
looks
his place
close.
like?
Is he up enough?
Is he
He
here?
looks close
Is he
to
here?
me.
Is he here?
He likes it.
No, just
Not
held
quite
up.
made it. Now, bearing in mind, there's
What a
only these two
line.
out on the green, so consequently that temperature's right down, so it's got a little bit pushy. And we're just congratulating Colin. He finished runner-up to Kevin, but gave it a great go this morning. So well done, Colin Ross. Good effort. Come on, Steve. You got your last wood here. You just need to draw this in. John's holding his head. So what's he thinking?
Well, Steve, it all comes down to one bowl. To measure, yeah, we gathered that. Otherwise, you'd have been.
Do we really want to
Cartwheels.
measure on this for tension for the viewers, or is it a case of let's get Steve to draw it? I don't know, but it'll be what it'll be. Well, he's got it away. His green's good. Oh, he's a bit high, is he?
I'll tell you what, the weight don't look too bad
Yeah,
if
I
he
think
rests his.
I think it's a bit high.
He touches it, doesn't he?
It's a bit high. He's gone through.
Oh,
Sit that one down. Oh,
well, this is nail biting stuff.
well,
Is he? Isn't he?
well, it's all on this measure. Okay, so who's doing the sweep? Who's collecting the money for the sweep? I don't know.
Yeah.
Where's your money? You see, Steve's bowl's tilting in. Does that mean anything? I don't know.
Right to the belly of the bowl.
It
Belly
looks,
of the bowl, yeah.
It looks the light blue bowl. It looks like John's wood to me, but I don't know.
It's like John's to me.
Let's have a look. Oh, it's John, isn't it? Yeah, it's John. Yeah, I think they've accepted it's John. Darren's just going back and measuring, make sure the measure hasn't moved from the first time we measured it. But yep, that's a shot to John.
Oh, it's all tense.
Again,
Very tense.
Well, Steve's tension levels will be up a bit because he hasn't scored for about 3 or 4 ends now, so that sort of gets into your psyche as well, doesn't it? As John's got a bit of momentum, he's keeping it going. It's and he did this the last game.
by end, doesn't it? Steve has to forget that and just start.
Yeah, he
again.
has
Yeah.
to, and that's
Refocus.
the thing about singles. It's about getting that mindset. It's a different mindset playing singles. You've got to try and block everything else out and just play your bowls.
Forget what's going and just
Yeah,
concentrate on the next
100%. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, 100%.
I mean, we all say that, but also, if he's going down, just ones. If you're ones, you're always in with a shout. It's when you start giving the big numbers away that the pressure starts to build a lot
Absolutely
more.
right, Richie. Absolutely right.
But he's holding his nerve in that respect. He's got a good line.
Yeah, I think his pace is good. I think he's close here.
Yes.
He will be a happy man. He will be a relieved man.
That's a nice start
He'll
from
be a
Steve
relieved man.
Morris.
Well done, Steve. So what's John's reply going to be? Well, he's on a
Now
good
it's up
ri-
to
in
John
terms
to
of
hold
green,
his
he's on-
nerve a
yeah,
bit.
He's on a good line as far as green's concerned, but I think he's pushed it again.
How often has he done that? Just pushed it round. I know Steve would want to rest on those two woods. Looks a bit tight to me.
Well, I'm tense. I don't know about anybody else.
Don't give him a target.
Well, he can't take both of those, eh? Can
Well, he will. He'll be after the jack here.
he? Yeah, he's after the jack. He's got the gap, hasn't he?
I think he's through it.
Whoa. Well, it was a pretty good effort, that. He's just a little bit unlucky.
That's the one thing about John Cray. He's never far away, is he?
Never.
No. Frightens the life out of me.
So do you think he'll be back to the draw shot, John? Depends what Steve does here, obviously, but
Well,
do you stay away from it? What do you do? Do you stay away from it, or do you?
I'd put one round the
put one
back.
on the blue
I'd put
balls.
one round the
Put one on
back.
the
I
blue
would.
balls.
On the 2 blue balls.
You don't want to be anywhere near that jack,
blue
really,
balls.
do you? Yeah,
That's the target.
yeah, I think so. Has he got the weight?
Close again.
Well, I'm not sure you wanted to do that, Steve, and I don't think Steve wanted to do that.
Well,
Yeah, I
that's
think
that's pretty much similar. But yeah, yeah.
he was trying to play the blue woods, wasn't he? He just missed the line.
Yeah. You know what he's saying, don't you? Miss it, miss it, miss it. Just what we'd all be saying.
I'd imagine John's going to look to drag this, I would think, don't you? I think he's just going to be looking at...
Just playing with that yard and a half away, isn't he?
He is.
Run it through. I think he's too wide. It's too wide.
Well, that's it then.
Very good game.
Yeah, well done. So a round of applause. Steve Morris is in the final. Steve will be playing Kevin Kinsella. That'll be an April fixture along with the rest of the finals. So congratulations to both Steve and Kevin for making it, and commiserations to Colin and John who both gave a really good account of themselves. Hope you've enjoyed it. It was our first, or my first attempt at the commentary, so it's been an experience for me. Hope you enjoyed it, and thank you for viewing, and we're going to move out the way now so that the next bowlers can come into play. So thank you, Richard. Really enjoyed your company again today.
Yep.
It's been really, really enjoyable.
No,
and,
well done, well
yeah,
done, Simon.
thank
You
I enjoyed it.
you done very well.
Thank you, mate.
It's not easy. It's not easy. It's the first time. It's a bit daunting, but
Yeah, and you've got to get used to it. But
No.
thank you, thanks again. It's
we
been really
we
good.
know you know what it's like. So we'll
Brilliant.
you'll be doing it again, I'm sure.
Thanks, mate.
I'm
Really
sure.
good. Really enjoyed it. Hope you've all
And
enjoyed
can
it.
I just say thank you for all those that listened and watched, and for the support of everybody that's been given to Bromsgrove Indoor Bowling Club, and to Ellen for doing these streamings. And once again, thank you very much. Have a good afternoon.
And a good evening.
Bye bye.